welcome back. And as was mentioned earlier in the show, the focus of this conversation is going to be a chat with Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise and St. John's Vianney Primary School about a partnership they have and upcoming fundraiser. Joining us for this conversation, we have Felix Sutherland, Principal of St. John's Vianney Primary School. We're joined by Nicola Longsworth, Fundraising Director of Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise, and Ray Hohenkirk, President of Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Thank
Morning.
you.
Morning, Belize.
Yes.
So let's start off by finding out just a bit about this particular chapter of Rotary and the work that you do.
Rotary is engaged in primarily fundraising activities that help the needy. There are different areas of focus. Ours is more literacy, so we tend to associate ourselves with institutions like schools, for example, providing computers, upgrading of library facilities, bathroom facilities, and any other aspect relating to the educational field. Notwithstanding that, there are other areas that we've done work in, for example, providing water tanks at a school in, up on the Western Highway. I can't remember the school's name in a particular. So even though the focus is education, there's a spread of activities associated within the educational field. We have made a decision to adopt St. John's Vianney School in terms of assisting the school in different areas, upgrading their bathroom facilities. We're going to look at upgrading their resource center, which would include computers and library books. We're also going to do some painting to the building, both internally and externally. And we're also going to assist them in their school feeding program. Mr. Sutherland came along with us to actually talk a bit more about the school activities and what his needs are.
Now, Felix, we know you are in the middle of very challenging area. What I wanted to say is that, obviously there's a lot of misconceptions about the area itself. There's crime that takes place, but there are children who live in the area and who attend the school and who are even more vulnerable to some of the things we see in this city. Let's talk about how you work to be able to ensure a healthy educational environment for the kids and still be able to keep them safe as well.
As you are right that we are in an area that is marked as challenge.
Yeah.
No secret about that. But at St. John Vianney, we have undertaken a number of initiatives. Presently, we just began one last school year in which we are trying to do restorative, virtues-based discipline. We have implemented the positive behavior intervention support system for school. We work very closely with our parents. And yes, it is challenging because there are so many needs as they relate to our students. St. John Vianney, for a little background, is in its 29th year of operation. It's the newest Catholic school in the city. We have a present student enrollment of 667 students, almost 50-50%. There are 333 girls and 334 boys. So it's almost dead even.
Is that a part of your recruitment policy?
Well, not really. But we try to keep what we have.
Yeah.
We try to retain them, that we started to lose our boys at standard 4.
Yeah.
And so it is.
That's very important.
It is.
No, that's an accomplishment because you lose quite a number of boys in that system.
In terms of the school feeding program, it's a challenge area, as it was mentioned earlier, and that what the average Belizean take for granted is a luxury for some of our students, a warm midday meal. We started our feeding program back in 1991. Many times it has went on life support, if you will. It went into the ICU room and rebound. Some years ago, We had Sunrise Rotary with us, but because of scarce resources, their funding dried out, and thank God they are back.
I like the thank God that goes along.
Like I said, I don't know if you want to call them fairy godmother or fairy godfathers, but we are lucky and blessed to have them.
Yeah. Now, in terms of being able to get organizations like this chapter of Rotary and others on board to assist the school, is it difficult for you to get people to partner with you, or are people very cognizant of the needs and jump on board?
It is somewhat difficult, especially now, because being the newest school, the newest kid in the block in terms of the Catholic, we only try to partner with other agencies. We are usually told, you know, it's a good idea, but we are already committed to this institution or the other. So it is difficult, but we never give up. We always continue to try. The priests, whenever they would go on their mission appeal, we would ask them to put in a plug for St. John Vianney, especially our pet project, our feeding program. And as I said, we are 29 years old. We began with 3 classrooms. Today we have 24 classrooms. So it is a struggle, but I can also boast that in our 29th year, I think we are the only school that could boast that we start the construction of our last school. We were able to raise $153,000 to do the foundation of our last building that we erected. So we are not sitting idly by, but we are putting our pound of flesh.
Now, Felix, I want to talk a little bit about, you talk about the feeding program and how critical that is for quite a number of the students in your area. But schools see an increasingly expanding role in terms of what you have to provide for students who you serve. How do you keep pace with all the growing needs and the staffing in terms of, and also the funding?
Well, certainly we got to think outside the box. There are times when we realize now as schools in Belize, we have to network. And it's not uncommon for us to solicit assistance in the form of information as to how we deal with a certain situation. Because we need the support of each other's now. And you're right in saying that there are other overwhelming needs. For example, a number of schools are now implementing parenting program. When we were at school, we bring a parent to school to teach them what, to rear children or how to cooperate in school. That is an additional burden. But yes, we do see there are other needs coming, and we try to address them as best as we can. And from time to time, I have already spoken to some members of Sunrise Rotary, not Ray, but because
but you plan to.
Sorry,
no, I've already spoken to other members, and this is not any monetary thing. We have, as you said, as I mentioned earlier, we have some challenges and our boys. I have spoken to Jose Ketz and Vic with the possibility of having some mentors that we could have some young boys observe them as they go about their daily chores, and just because that's another thing that we have to do, teach boys how to be men.
That's a very good point.
I want to use one other segue, because you talk about the role of men and bringing them in. What's the, in terms of your staffing, is
number of male
teachers still an issue to attract?
Still an issue. For 30 members of staff, there are only 5 of us males. And I think that is a high, if you look at the school.
I was about to say.
That is high.
Say, yeah. It's really a problem that's not exclusive to St. John's Vianney. I want to talk about being able to raise funds for your projects, because we know you've really dedicated yourself in that particular area as well. You have a great library in that area. What has it been like to plan fundraising activities since you have the actual proof? You have facilities people can go to, and all the results that you've produced so far. Are people buying into the purpose of the fundraising or the creativity of the event itself?
Well, I think primarily it is the focus of the reason why we do these fundraising events. Along with the club itself and the Service Project Committee, they have, each year they come up with different service projects that we would like to target.
Yeah.
And this year, our Service Project Director, who is Jose Ketz, he came up with and with the support of the club, decided to focus on a big flagship project. And we did research and everything, and because of the history we have with St. John's Vianney, we decided to take on the school.
Okay.
So so with us getting sponsorship and everything for our fundraising events, we have been very lucky and very blessed in having support of the business community.
What are some of the things you would like to achieve in this partnership with St. John's Vianney?
Well, the main focus of it is the children.
Yeah.
And making them feel comfortable in that environment, a very good learning environment. You know, our focus at Rotary is education. So in doing this fundraising event, I mean, the children, of course, will be happy. The principal and the teachers, the staff, the parents will see that they're not left out in the dark. You know, that they're being greatly assisted.
Now, Marlene was talking about the initiatives. How do you get a groundswell in terms of support from not only the members that you have, obviously, but with the wider public?
I think part of it is an activity like this, where we are now on television talking about the fundraising event, and also bringing in with us the recipient of the event in terms of who the funds are being raised for. We're hoping that a lot of Belizeans would listen and hear what Mr. Sutherland is saying, support our cause, not just because it's his school, but on another program he said, we're looking at the future of Belize. And these kids are part of the children who live in Belize, and they're Belizeans. And any one of them can aspire to go to high school, then junior college, after university, come back home and contribute towards the development of the country.
It's important that we do not forget those children.
Yeah.
You know, they are the future of the country.
Yeah.
And we certainly appreciate whatever Rotary is doing for us. In terms of getting a groundswell of support, our parents are very supportive for the most part. They would give their all. It might be little, but it's their all, and that is very great for us. But the four pillars of education, learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together, we in schools tend to stress a lot of learning to know and learning to do. But learning to be and learning to live together are equally important. And with Rotary coming on board, developing the aesthetics of our school, it will create a sense of being, and I'm certain having their involvement in whatever project Rotary is doing with us, they will claim ownership and certainly together, live together in protecting what we have. So it is in line certainly with the pillars of education. So we are very, very grateful to Rotary.
Now, this particular fundraiser, how did you all come up with this idea? And is it the first in a series?
For the Mardi Gras ball, not necessarily, party, not necessarily. We try to come up with something unique. And hopefully that would attract attention of the public to want to experience the event. And then depending on the level of success, it could go on to become a signature event that we would make, would done on an annual basis. So this one, we were throwing around ideas about what we could do, and there were thoughts, okay, some people go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, which is actually tomorrow. No?
Next
week. Sorry. Yeah, this weekend. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, how about let's bring Mardi Gras to Belize? We won't have all the costumes and fanfare that go along with it, but we have the beads, and we have the mask, and we have some
music.
We have local DJs,
Yes.
two of the Belize's best DJs, gonna spin up some good music.
DJ Dollar and Stone
And the
Jam.
food.
And the food,
Yeah.
which actually is gonna be New Orleans style.
Yes.
So you get your gumbo
The
and
Belize
and everything else.
Oh boy.
jambalaya and everything.
So it's really themed. It's a New Orleans themed, obviously Mardi Gras party. Tell us the details of the event. Of course, it is for great food, drinks, a good time, and some
The
music.
tickets are $100.
Yeah.
But with that, $100 per person. With that, you get the Mardi Gras beads and the mask. You get a buffet dinner. You also get 2 bottles of wine on the table when you get there. You also are able to win door prizes, which is fabulous. They're fabulous prizes, live auctions, and raffles. It is a cash bar, but of course, with everything, when you look at the value of what you're getting for the $100, it's amazing.
And more importantly, the funds will go to assist
Correct.
the project
Right.
with St. John's
Yeah.
Vianney.
Yes.
So what has been the response so far? People looking forward to Mardi Gras in Belize?
You know, it's been pretty good,
Yeah.
a very good response. People are still deciding
Yeah.
what they should do, but I'm telling you guys, do not wait. The
Yeah.
tickets are going.
Is it a costume party?
It is not a costume
Yeah.
party.
Maybe that's what we should tell people.
Right.
Because people get
That's
nervous
why-
with costumes.
And then
Yeah.
the president said that it's a ball. It's not a ball. It's not long gowns and jackets and ties. You come to party.
Yeah.
Have fun. Let loose a little bit.
will have a ball.
Yeah.
Even though you're not at the ball.
But you don't have to go hunting for
gown.
a costume.
You don't have to go
yeah.
in a costume, no,
It's just
no.
themed.
That's the
Yes,
theme. Yes. Yes.
And wearing the mask is optional if you don't want to, or the beads also, but we're gonna have them available for everybody to put on.
Right.
Okay.
So how do people get tickets if they're interested in going?
Well,
Any Sunrise Rotarian member, well, every Sunrise Rotarian member has.
sunrise, yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know who a Sunrise Rotarian is, well, there are 2 of us right here,
Yes.
and I can give you my number. It's 610-2178. You can call me, and we can hook you up for tickets.
And they're
Or they're at
available
the
at
Biltmore as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
And it takes place, what time does it start?
Tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
7 p.m.
7
sharp.
p.m. sharp.
And
We have a
ends-
nice agenda set out, entertainment galore.
And actually, we have an MC.
wonder who that is.
Who's the MC again?
Some celebrity Belizean.
Oh,
And she will,
You can't
she
remember
will
the
be
name?
unmasked.
I think it's Marlene.
Marlene. Oh, Marlene. Oh, she's right here. Yes.
Our
Yes.
very own Marlene will be our mistress of ceremony.
Maybe I drag William
Even
along
more, they should come, right?
too. Yeah.
Well, William was invited too, but he said he has.
We'll leave that door open for him as well, right?
He can come in
He may
halftime.
He may come to collect some beads. There's also a process to collect some beads at the party, is
Yes.
it?
yes.
Yeah.
But that's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
It's not the traditional way of collecting beads, I would imagine, right?
No. No more.
Just don't get your hopes up. But you will be able to collect beads somewhere or the other, so you
Yeah.
can go and challenge yourself. I think definitely you guys are known for having great themed events, but most importantly, it really goes towards helping people and organizations where they really need additional assistance.
Yeah.
And of course, Felix, we hope that more of the private sector will reach out and be able to assist you in the programs that you are having at your school as well.
Well, certainly, but for now, we wish that every able Belizean would come and invest in the students of St. John Vianney. It may sound like a lot, $100, people may say $100, but you will get something in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get a buffet-style meal, and plus that $100 will multiply 1,000-fold in the lives of the student in the future of Belize.
So it's party with a purpose.
That's right.
Right.
And if you can't go, you buy a ticket for somebody else so you can still show your support, right?
Certainly.
Certainly.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Any final
Yes.
words?
Yes. We want to thank our sponsors as usual, please. Smart, Biltmore, Row Group of Companies, McNabb Designs, Party People Design and Events, Chalk Creek, Kana, Pink Boutique, Cellular World, Madisco, Sandcast Turtle Inn, Travelers, Will Moreno Photography, Unbelievable golf carts, tropic air, Victoria House, and courts. Okay.
Well, like I said, remember you can get your tickets from, and you all have a Facebook page so people can get more information there if they're
Yes.
going to,
Yes.
to be able to support. Thank
So
you for
can show
joining
up
us.
and
Thank you.
Pay your
Just
cash and
show
go
up, pay your cash, and come party for a purpose.
All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, it's to talk about Fashion Fusion 2016.